Life will test you. That's not a warning. That's a promise. No matter who you are, where you're from, how strong or smart you think you are, life will throw setbacks your way. You'll face moments of disappointment, times when everything seems to go against you. People will let you down. Plans will fall apart. Doors will close. And just when you think it can't get any worse, it does. But here's the real question. Right finger, how do you respond? Do you let life break you, or do you use the pain as fuel to grow, to rise, and to become stronger? The difference isn't in what happens to you. The difference lies in how you respond to what happens. That's where Stoicism comes in, a philosophy not born in comfort, but in chaos, in war, in poverty, in exile. The Stoics weren't removed from hardship, they lived in it. And they discovered something powerful. Pain doesn't have to be your prison, it can be your teacher. You see, Stoicism doesn't teach you to suppress your feelings or become a robot. It teaches you how to develop a mindset so steady, so grounded, that no storm in life can shake it. They call it an unbreakable spirit, and in today's world, full of noise, pressure, comparison, and constant change, cultivating that spirit might be the most valuable thing you ever do. So if you've ever felt like life's been unfair to you, if you've ever thought, why me? If you've ever been knocked down so hard you didn't know how to get back up, this video is for you. Because the truth is, life isn't going to get easier, but you can get stronger. And in this journey, you won't be alone. Let's explore together how Stoic principles, ancient but timeless, can help you take every challenge and turn it into something greater. Into character, into clarity, into resilience. So take a breath, sit with us, because what comes next might just change how you face everything that comes after. Change is hard not because it's unfamiliar, but because it threatens what feels safe. Have you ever found yourself resisting change, even when you knew it might be good for you? Maybe it was a job offer that scared you, maybe a relationship ended and you weren't ready to let go, or maybe life simply forced you into a chapter you didn't ask for, and you felt completely unprepared. That reaction? That tightening in the chest? That fear, it's natural, it's human. We fear change because deep down, we fear failure, we fear losing what we know. We fear stepping into the unknown and not being able to handle it. But what if we've been approaching change all wrong? The ancient Stoics believed something radically different. They taught a principle called amor fati, Latin for love of fate. But don't get it twisted. Amor fati isn't about giving up. It's not saying, well, life is out of my hands, so I'll just accept it. No. It's saying, whatever happens, I will work with it. I will use it. The obstacle becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius. It's about leaning into the storm instead of running from it. It's realizing that your power doesn't lie in changing what happens, but in how you respond. That's where your freedom lives. That's where growth begins. So here's the shift. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, how can I grow from this? Right finger, when life changes, and it will, you don't need to panic, you need to pivot. And that takes practice. Stoicism isn't just theory, it's action. It means building mental flexibility. Can you adapt when your plans fall through? Can you update your identity when life demands something new from you? Can you let go of the person you used to be, to become the person you need to be? Sometimes that means changing your morning routine when life gets hectic. Sometimes it means walking away from a career path that no longer aligns with your values, and sometimes it's just learning to say, this wasn't in the plan, but I'm ready anyway. One of the most powerful tools to develop this mindset? Reflection. Take a few minutes each day or week and ask yourself, what did life teach me this week? How did I respond to change? Did I resist it or embrace it? Write it down. Let the lessons settle in, because once you start seeing change as teacher rather than threat, something incredible happens. You stop living in fear, you start living with trust in yourself and in life's process. Remember, change isn't the enemy, your resistance to it is. So the next time life shifts under your feet, don't freeze, breathe, adapt, move forward, because every time you do, you're not just surviving change, you're mastering it. Ever been cut off in traffic and instantly felt your blood boil, or maybe someone said something thoughtless and you just snapped? Yeah, we've all been there. Emotions are part of being human. Joy, anger, fear, excitement, they come and go like waves. But here's the thing. When emotions drive the car, you're no longer in control of where you're going. Stoicism, the ancient philosophy we've been exploring, doesn't tell you to suppress emotions. That's a common misunderstanding. It doesn't say, don't feel, it says, don't be ruled. And that's a huge difference. The Stoics believed in emotional awareness. They believed that before any reaction, before any outburst, any meltdown, any impulsive decision, there's a moment, a pause. And in that pause is your power. You see, between stimulus and response, there's a small window of freedom. The more you become aware of it, the more you practice it, the stronger your self-mastery becomes. Let me paint you a picture. You're driving. Someone cuts you off dangerously. Your first instinct: hit the horn, yell, flip a gesture you'll regret, but then you remember, this is just a moment, so instead, you breathe, you let it go. Why? Because in the grand scheme of life, this is a blip, not a battle worth fighting. Or on the flip side, think of a time when you were too happy, too excited, and you made a decision too quickly, spent too much, promised too much. Even positive emotions, when unchecked, can steer us wrong. The Stoic goal isn't emotional numbness. It's emotional balance. It's feeling everything, but being ruled by nothing. So, how do we get there? Person in lotus position first. Mindfulness. Start noticing your emotional triggers. What gets under your skin? What makes your heart race? Once you recognize the pattern, you can start interrupting it. Memo second. Journaling seriously. Write it down. After an emotional day, ask yourself, what happened? Why did I react the way I did? Was my response proportionate to the situation? That kind of reflection builds insight, and insight leads to freedom. Wave third. Observe your emotions like waves. They rise. They crash. They fade. You are not your anger. You are not your anxiety. You are the observer, the one watching it all flow through. This perspective is powerful because it means no emotion, no matter how overwhelming, is permanent. You don't need to act on everything you feel. You just need to notice, breathe, and choose. Now look, this takes practice. You won't always get it right. Neither did the Stoics. Even Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome, philosopher king, wrote in his journal about struggling with frustration, ego, fear. But he kept returning to the same truth. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. So next time you're about to react, in anger, in panic, in overexcitement, pause. Give yourself that one breath of space, because in that space, you get to choose who you become. And that right there, is where real strength lives. Not in bottling things up, not in pretending you're unshakable, but in learning to feel deeply, and still stand steady. Have you ever said, yes, when every part of you wanted to say, no? Maybe it was another project at work. Maybe it was a weekend plan you didn't want but couldn't say no to. Maybe it was just one more thing on your already overloaded plate, and you said yes because you didn't want to seem selfish, unhelpful, or rude. But here's the truth: most of us don't learn until we're already running on empty. Right finger saying yes to everything is often saying no to yourself. And over time, that comes with a cost: your time, your energy, your well-being. The Stoics had something powerful to say about this. They believed in living in alignment with nature, not just the natural world around us, but our own inner nature, which includes our limits. Think about it. Even nature sets boundaries. The shoreline stops the sea. A tree's bark protects its core. Why should you be any different? Setting boundaries isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's not about pushing people away, it's about protecting what matters most to you. Let's get practical. Stop sign. Let's say family time is one of your top priorities. A boundary might look like this: no checking work emails during dinner. Books. Maybe personal growth matters deeply to you. You might block off your mornings for journaling, meditation, or reading, and treat that time as sacred, non-negotiable. These aren't just preferences, they're anchors. They hold your day, and your life, in alignment with your values. But here's where it gets tricky. Setting boundaries can feel uncomfortable, especially at first. You might worry, will they think I'm selfish? What if I disappoint someone? Is this even okay to ask for? The answer is yes, it is. Stoicism isn't about people-pleasing or bending to every expectation. It's about living with integrity, making choices that reflect who you truly are. And when you respect your own limits, You actually show up stronger for others. You give from a full cup, not from exhaustion or resentment. Now, how do you start? Checkmark. Start small. You don't need to announce a dramatic life shift. Begin by making one small change that protects your time and energy. Speaking head. Communicate clearly. You don't have to over-explain or apologize. A simple, "I'm not available at that time," or "I need to focus on this project right now," is enough. Warning. Pay attention to discomfort. Ever felt drained or resentful after an interaction? That's not a failure, that's data. It often means a boundary was crossed, or never set in the first place. Use those moments as insight. Adjust as needed. Your boundaries will evolve as you do. And here's the beautiful part. Over time, setting boundaries becomes easier. People begin to respect your clarity, and you begin to respect yourself more deeply. You gain more energy for what actually matters. You feel less scattered, less stressed, more centered. You live more intentionally, more freely, more you. Remember, boundaries are not walls, they're doors. Doors that help you decide what enters your life and what stays out. So the next time you're afraid to say no, pause. Ask yourself, is this request aligned with my values, or is it pulling me away from them? Choose the answer that honors your energy, your time, and your truth. That's not selfish, that's stoic. Let's be real for a second. It's easy to blame the world when life doesn't go our way. The job market sucks, your boss is toxic, your childhood wasn't fair, you never got the opportunities others had. And maybe some of that's true. But here's a question that might just shift your entire mindset. Right finger. What part did I play in the outcome I'm living today? It's not a question of blame. It's a question of ownership, and it's one the Stoics took seriously. In a world where so much is out of our control, the weather, the economy, other people's choices, Stoicism says, focus on what is within your control, your actions, your thoughts, your response. Because once you start doing that, something powerful happens. You stop being a victim and start becoming the architect of your life. Bullseye. Think about it like this. If something in your life isn't working, a relationship, a career, your health, what if you stopped pointing the finger outward and started asking better questions? What did I choose, or not choose, that got me here? What habits did I keep repeating? What conversations did I avoid? That level of radical responsibility can feel uncomfortable, but it's also incredibly freeing. Because the moment you own your choices, you reclaim your power to make new ones. That's the heart of Stoic philosophy. Don't hope that events will turn out the way you want. Welcome events in whichever way they happen. This is the path to peace. Epictetus. But it doesn't mean you resign yourself to whatever happens, quite the opposite. True Stoics take action, they engage with life fully, but they do so with clarity, resilience, and grounded responsibility. Let me give you a practical tool the Stoics used. Shield premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of adversity. Sounds fancy, but it's simple. Take a moment each day to imagine what might go wrong, not to panic, but to prepare. What if my big presentation gets delayed? What if my plan fails? What if someone criticizes me? Then ask, how would I respond with strength and integrity if that happens? This mental exercise helps you stay calm when life throws a curveball, because you've already seen it coming. You're not surprised, you're ready. Another habit? Daily reflection. Before you go to bed, ask yourself, what went well today? What didn't? What can I do better tomorrow? This simple check-in turns every day into a stepping stone for growth. Light bulb instead of, why did this happen to me? Try, what can I learn from this? Mistakes? They're not shameful, they're feedback. They're your greatest teachers. And when you start viewing them that way, you'll stop hiding from them and start using them. Because here's the truth. Right finger. The more responsibility you take for your life, the more control you have to shape your future. And that doesn't mean being perfect. It means being honest. It means showing up again and again, willing to learn, willing to adapt, willing to own your story. Life's not about never falling, it's about learning how to fall better and stand up stronger. So, the next time you're tempted to point the finger, stop, take a deep breath, and turn it inward. Because your power, it's not in what happened, it's in what you choose to do next. That's not just mindset, that's Stoic mastery. Let me ask you something personal. When was the last time you forgave yourself? Not excused, Not brushed it off but genuinely looked in the mirror and said, "Hey, it's okay. You're still learning. Keep going." For most of us, it's been a while. We're often our own harshest critics, holding ourselves to impossible standards. And then tearing ourselves apart when we fall short. "You're such a failure. You should have known better. What's wrong with you?" Sound familiar? Now, here's where it gets interesting. We'd never speak that way to someone we care about if a friend made a mistake. We'd comfort them, encourage them, help them move forward. So why is it so hard to show that same kindness to ourselves? This is where Stoicism offers a powerful, and often misunderstood, insight. A lot of people think Stoicism is all about toughness, grit, emotional control, and yes, it is about resilience, but not the kind that beats you down, the kind that lifts you up. Stoics believed in rational self-awareness, not self-punishment. They taught us to observe our failures with honesty, without judgment, to see them as part of being human, not a reason to hate ourselves. To err is human, to reflect, to learn, and to grow. That's Stoic. So what does self-compassion really look like? Brain first. It's about how you talk to yourself next time you mess up. Pause and ask, if this were my best friend in the same situation, what would I say to them? Now, say that to yourself. It might feel strange at first, but over time, it rewires your inner dialogue. You begin to replace the voice of criticism with the voice of reason, growth, and care. Woman in lotus position second. Practice mindfulness when you feel overwhelmed, disappointed, or ashamed. Take a step back. Notice the emotion, but don't become it, just like waves on the ocean. Feelings rise and fall. You don't have to get pulled under every time. Being mindful doesn't mean ignoring the emotion. It means not letting it define you. Memo third. Try journaling. Write about the times you were too hard on yourself. What triggered it? What were you afraid of? And most importantly, what would a more compassionate version of you say instead? This practice helps you track your growth. It turns your inner world into a place of reflection, not punishment. Light bulb. Remember, self-compassion is not weakness. It's not letting yourself off the hook. It's about creating the emotional safety you need to get back up, to keep going, even when life knocks you down. Because real strength isn't pretending to be unbreakable, it's being honest about your cracks, and still choosing to show up. So the next time you catch yourself spiraling into shame or self-hate, pause, take a breath, and ask yourself, right finger, what if I chose kindness instead? That choice, again and again, doesn't just change how you feel, it changes who you become. It's what allows you to move through life with dignity, to recover faster, to grow deeper, to rise higher. And yes, it's deeply, beautifully Stoic. Have you ever felt like the more you learn, the more you realize how little you actually know? That's not a flaw, that's a gift. Because that realization, that humbling moment, is where real learning begins. The Stoics believed that education doesn't end at graduation. In fact, that's where it truly starts. To them, every day is a classroom, every challenge is a lesson, every conversation, every failure, every quiet moment of reflection, it all has something to teach you. The wise man is the one who knows he knows nothing. Socrates. Sounds paradoxical, right? But it's the mindset that separates those who coast through life from those who grow through life. So how do we keep that fire of learning alive, especially when life feels busy, stressful, overwhelming? It starts with one word: curiosity. When you treat the world with curiosity, not judgment, you begin to see lessons in everything. Got passed over for a promotion? Ask, what skills do I need to sharpen? Had a disagreement with someone? Ask, what did I miss? How could I have handled it better? Made a bad call? Ask, what did this mistake teach me that success never could? That's real learning, and it's way more powerful than memorizing facts. But there's something just as important as curiosity: humility. The Stoics warned us, the moment you think you know it all, you stop growing. So stay humble, stay open. Speaking head, listen more than you speak. Sometimes the greatest wisdom comes from unexpected places: a coworker, a stranger, even a child. Ask questions. Even when it feels awkward. Can you explain that? What made you come to that conclusion? These are invitations, not admissions of ignorance, but of strength and maturity. Engage with people who think differently than you, not to argue, but to understand diverse perspectives stretch your thinking and teach you compassion. Books, and yes, read books that challenge you, that expand your worldview, that make you uncomfortable in a good way. Try rotating topics: philosophy, science, memoirs, even fiction. Every genre reveals a different corner of the human experience. Keep a learning journal once a week. Write down: what did I learn this week? What surprised me? What challenged me? How can I apply this to my life? This habit turns learning into something you track, something you own over time. You'll begin to see your personal evolution unfold on the page. But here's the deeper point. The goal of lifelong learning isn't just to be smarter, it's to be wiser, it's to become more adaptable, more thoughtful, more effective, not just at work, but in life. You're not just filling your brain, you're shaping your character. And in a world that's constantly changing, that's one of the most powerful skills you can develop. So let curiosity lead you, let humility ground you, and let every experience, good, bad, or ordinary, teach you something new. Because the fire of knowledge, it doesn't burn out, it only goes out when you stop feeding it. So keep asking, keep seeking, keep learning, and over time, you won't just become more knowledgeable, you'll become more you, the best version possible. So here we are: 6 timeless habits, 1 unbreakable life. Let's pause for a second and take it all in. You've just walked through some of the most powerful principles the Stoics ever gave us, not as ancient theories carved in stone, but as living tools for a modern, messy, unpredictable world. And at the heart of it all is one message. Right finger: every single day is a lesson, every setback is a classroom, every challenge is an opportunity, if you choose to see it that way. So what now? You don't need to memorize everything we've said, you don't need to become perfect overnight, but what if you just started living these 6 habits, one choice at a time? Let's revisit them, not just as ideas, but as actions. Pushpin 1. Embrace change. Life doesn't wait for your permission to shift, but you can choose to stop resisting and start adapting. When things fall apart, look for what wants to be rebuilt inside you. Pushpin 2. Master your emotions. Feel everything, but let nothing control you. You're not your anger, your fear, or your anxiety. You're the one observing them, choosing what happens next. Pushpin 3. Set clear boundaries. Your time, energy, and peace are not infinite. Learn to say no without guilt, so you can say yes with purpose. Protect what matters, not out of selfishness, but from self-respect. Pushpin 4. Take full responsibility. No more waiting, no more blame. Your life is not a story being written about you, it's being written by you. Take the pen back in your hand. Pushpin 5. Practice self-compassion. You will fail. You will fall. You will forget everything in this video at least once. But that's okay. Be kind. Be patient. Talk to yourself the way you would to someone you love. Pushpin 6. Keep learning. Always stay curious. Stay humble. Don't just chase knowledge, become it. Let life teach you. Every day. In every way. Growth isn't a goal, it's a lifestyle. Now let me ask you this. Which one of these habits speaks to you the most right now? Which one are you avoiding, and maybe need the most? Start there, because when you live by these principles, slowly, imperfectly, but consistently, something begins to shift. You stop reacting to life, and start responding with purpose. You stop chasing validation, and start creating inner peace. You stop fearing hardship, and start using it. That's what it means to live stoically. That's what it means to build a life that's calm in chaos, strong under pressure, and unshakable, even when the world around you is anything but. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be committed to learning, growing, showing up, because you're not meant to be broken by life, you're meant to be forged by it. So here's your challenge. Don't just listen to Stoic wisdom, live it. One breath at a time, one decision at a time, one habit at a time. This is your journey, your growth, your strength. And trust me, it's already inside you.